Strategy and Snark presents Dungeons and Dragons Online. I'm gonna just jump right on in here. We're looking at the Attack on Stormreach chain today. A chain that I thought was bigger than it was. So, this is a continuation of the, I guess it's just called the Lord's March Plaza chain. It's the one where we basically had to come in here and foil an attempt of Droaam to come and assassinate the coin lords and try to get a foothold in the town. If you're going to take somebody else, I guess the coin lords aren't a bad one to aim for, because if you can steal their money, you might be able to bribe some of the other guilds into just letting you get away with it. Except the coin lords probably keep all their money in House Kandaric, the banking guild. So not... Yeah, and it's a fantasy world, right? If any of the coin lords actually got killed, they would have just been resurrected. Like, no question. So yeah, I guess they just kind of picked the wrong people to fight, because the coin lords can pay to hire me. Anyway, Darman Kosh here is going to actually give us a... he's going to be our point man. And he is telling us to go exactly the opposite way I was expecting to go. Oh, right. All of the actual quest givers for this chain are here in the palace itself. They are just right here. Boop, boop, boop. Do those 3 quests, and then Delera Omeron the 4th will give you the last quest. You might recognize these guys. These are the guys that we saved in the final quest of the Lord's March Plaza chain. So, Droaam has apparently dispensed with the subtlety, and they're just straight up attacking the city. Like, not even like, oh, look, they're throwing rocks or something, like, they're calling us names. No, they landed some boats, and they are actively sieging the Summerfield district. I'm not sure if Summerfield is a particular weak point of the city. I think it just might happen to be where the boats landed. Oh, this says it's an outlying district and it's lightly defended, so... Of course they can't get into the main city on the first try, and I don't know why you would even try to begin with. Because again... You had to sail here?
Summerfield
like your army was too big to teleport?
From countless buildings atop the hastily built defensive walls.
And we have wizards.
Orders. That must be Captain Marcus.
Yes, very, very excited narrator. So we're going to go up on the ledge.
Sound of pillage echo off the remaining city walls.
Here we go. Here's our guy we're
Unless
supposed to
you
check
stop
in
the
with.
Droaam army, Summerfield's
blah, blah.
fate will be
And then
eldritch portals open along the building ledges. Droaam
Portals
has
pop
begun
up,
their
and we
new
need
assault.
to make sure we kill these guys without losing Captain Marcus. Well, I guess it's optional now. Yeah. We would prefer to not lose all of our guys, because it'll be a little easier if we just have everybody here. Just more bodies. That guy was super not ready for... They dared Fred to just jump through first. He's like, yeah! So they have the ability to teleport short distances. Why didn't they... I don't know. I'm not a master of medieval plus magic warfare. Seems like if they have... Hey, if this is a thing that can happen, that you're just going to have to defend the walls against people who are teleporting onto your walls, What's the point of walls? Like, they're not actually all that useful. And on the other hand, if you could teleport, why didn't you teleport here instead of just using easily spotted boats? I don't know. I might have to game this out for a while. See if I can figure out why. I mean, there's data we don't have, right? Probably a limit on how far the teleportation spell goes. You know, maybe they have to have seen the place, so they had to get close enough to actually scout. There's a lot of potential reasons. I just don't have them. What I do have is a big old sword and a death spell happy hireling.
Portals appearing. While the Droaam army commander reformulates his strategy, you have a chance to dispose of enemy forces.
Now, there are some optionals here. So, when we jump over the wall, we now have to go beat up a set number of guys.
This is the last working fountain in the Summerfield district.
We can optionally go search for the wounded soldiers. I'd like to find at least one. There we go. Just to show you what they look like. So right here, wounded Stormreach guard. Hey, get up. There's more than 5. That optional updates itself, and you can look for even more. Interestingly enough, some of these buildings are real. They're not just facades, like you would normally expect. Let me see if I can find one of the ones you can go in. There we go. Carlo's bookshop. Oh, and another guard. I guess I won't just leave you there since I see you. Oh, and then I can see another guard. He's not even real, and he's making me feel bad if I leave him behind.
Droaam's rampage through Summerfield knows no bounds.
They
Nothing
broke
is
the
safe
rest
from their
shrine.
marauding ways. Not even rest shrines.
And no, I tried. You cannot select them. Okay. So, like, over here, there is basement apartment. Just like the bookshelf, there's a couple of these buildings that you can actually go in. And they've got wounded soldiers in them. Like, here's one right here. So if you can't find the wounded soldiers, try inside the buildings. There's also secrets in the buildings. Here's another guard who was waiting. Or, not waiting. Hiding. And then, apparently we got a dungeon alert walking in here. Doesn't look like that crowded of a door or a place. There's a rune in the fireplace. And another wounded guard. Oops. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else in here. So 3 wounded guards in this building. That's primarily what you're gonna find. Apparently there's a half-orc
You've
sniper.
slain the majority of Droaam forces looting the burning
So there's going to be a
ruins.
couple optional, like,
Lord
named
Droaam's
guys. I usually see, like,
invaders
there's
are
a...
preparing a new assault.
There's usually
It's
another
time to reinforce the
Medusa
defenses, starting
down
with
there
blocking the
somewhere.
Salad
I didn't see it this time. So some of them are just random. But most interestingly, if you run all the way out of Summerfield, which, am I running the right way? Yeah.
Droaam's
If you go
army has
out,
set up forward
you go
command
out.
posts on this side of Coranu River in preparation of further attacks against the Summerfield district.
You can actually find their staging ground. They landed outside of town. So a lot more of these guys than I thought. Do not underestimate these kobolds. The fact that they can just spam fireball and acid ball, you don't have your resistances up, and you fail your saves, that's a lot of damage really fast. So there's a boat
Path
right there.
from Summerfield leads across the Cornu River.
They've broken up.
Into Zendrik's jungle.
They've
and to the combined might of Droaam's army.
They've put up a
would be
little
best to
fence
remain near
just
the
so I
city
don't
and not
charge in and
court
fight the
painful
entire
death.
army all at once. I don't know if they're all only this powerful. The clam also is a treasure chest, I believe. It's either a treasure chest or a collectible. Treasure chest. Killer clam ate some random guy. So the main army's over the bridge. All we can do is take out the guys on this side, though. This whole section over here is optional. It's just a neat thing that you can run out here if you want. And back we go. We have to go all the way back to the beginning of the quest. Which isn't that far, but... if you can dimension door, there's an interesting little quirk. The quest is expecting you to go behind the Sally port and close it behind you, which means you actually need to go through the Sally port. I don't know why it's called a Sally port. It's just like a back door. It's expecting you to go through the back door. I've had it where I couldn't finish the quest until I went
has been damaged beyond repair.
back out here through it and then turn around and go through it again.
The sewer tunnel beyond this hatch leads to the other side.
Just pops
of
you
the
right
wall.
back up here.
Doubtless the maze of twisting.
So you have to lock
pipes.
down the Sally
Just as
port.
you try engaging the Sally port lock, Droaam flankers pour through the passage. The sudden crash of a battering ram erupts from the direction of the southern barricade.
So, as soon as you close the door, here's the boss.
True assault is just
If
beginning.
you are a ranged character or a mage, you can run back up onto these buildings where we were at the very beginning. And just fight him from up there. He's dumb, he's slow, and he's going to get distracted by all the Stormreach guards.
General Tagger's scream of rage
I,
echoes
however,
off the city walls as he falls.
can just take him head on.
A mournful roar rises from the Droaam encampment in response.
I don't see anything there.
And with Tagger's death, the siege on Summerfield is ended.
So by taking out... Come on. By taking out... Are you kidding me? Where are you? By taking out the general, we've made them retreat. So now we have a little time. So we're going to go talk to... I forget his name. Yorick? Is it Yorick? Is it Yorick? It is Yorick. Dr. Yorick. Get a reward. And we could walk back to talk to our... It's not a saga, but our overall quest giver, and he would tell us to walk right back in here and talk to the next guy. So, he says that they have actually blockaded the harbor, which is a baller move, considering that, like, Stormreach is a major port city and likely has a lot of, like, ships. Not to mention it has airships. How are you going to block the airships? Well, it turns out, well, first of all, the merchants don't use the airships, right? The merchants are using regular ships. So, you need the harbor. Harbor. Someday we'll get up in the harbor. So, but what it says is they've mined the harbor. They didn't just put boats in the way. They put bombs in the way.
Flame are looking into cult activity in the
You
area.
know,
Your help would be greatly appreciated.
there's actually not that many things off the top of my head that involve going underwater in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, yeah, maybe if you have like merfolk or something, but they don't usually make submarines. So, under cover of darkness, we're taking a raft and just very slowly, that was the the snow peaks took a second to unload over the top of the harbor there. So, there's the 3 mine layer ships. We are going to go sabotage them. This is a neat quest. There are multiple ways you can handle this.
The Droaam fleet
I
has
am
gathered here during
a
this
paladin,
dark night,
so we're going to go
probably
the
for mutual
clonk clonk
protection.
way.
Such measures might help against a naval attack,
So
but not against
we're just going to climb up the side of their boat. They've got a ladder here. I probably should have cast my buffs ahead of time. Hi, would you guys like to come play?
Through the ship,
That's
waking
fine.
the crew of the Bloodlust.
Wakey, wakey. Everybody wake up. Come on, I gave you guys a head start. Nothing? Nothing? Here, I'll even give you a second try. Hit me. Hit me! He's literally running away. Did you forget your sword? You're not much of a conscript. Anyway. Oh, hello. Our goal is to find the crest on each boat. The crest is going to let us get into the bottom of the boat and access where the mines are. We're going to also just pop in here and visit the captain's quarters, see if he's home. Anybody here? Hello? Lobo the Bloody. I caught him sleeping at his desk. I'm the captain now.
Lobo the Bloody, known across 2 continents for his vile ritual sacrifices of innocent lives,
So,
has
that
now
guy,
fallen
that
to
guy's
your
dead.
wrath.
Anyway, I mean, there's the galley is a separate room, but since we already have the crest, we don't need to go in there on this boat. We'll probably end up in there on a
Bloodlust's
different
crew
one.
is awake down here, growling to each other as they search for you.
If you were quiet, like you stealthed onto the boat, these guys would still be asleep. Basically, if you did not let them ring the
hatch to the
bell
mine bay looks like it
the top
requires
deck.
some kind of crest to unlock. It's likely secured somewhere
We are
else
not
on
going to
this ship.
successfully get in here without waking
This
everybody
is the
up.
Bloodlust's mine bay, where kobold engineers tend to the equipment.
Alright, more
You'll
of these
need to
kobolds
sneak
that
or
shoot
fight past them in order to
fire
perform
and
the
acid.
sabotage.
There's... Oh, there you are. I was going to say, there's usually a named guy. Alright. Dead. Dead. Take your treasure. And here's where things get interesting. The mine controls. So, 1, if you have enough intelligence, apparently, you can open the mine hatches. You know, the things that usually deploy the mines, which means you can then get out of there. So we can just jump down and exit through the mine hatch. We're going to set the mines to detonate in a certain amount of time. If you're a rogue or artificer, you can rig a remote and just do them all at once later. I'm going to peg it for 5 minutes. Because that's plenty of time for me to turn around and get off this boat. You can set it for as little as 15 seconds. You can. You got to be fast, and you probably need the mine hatches opened. Yeet. I'm not quite fast enough to make the whole jump. We didn't touch water. Splash goes the hireling. Assassinated.
The crew of
Really?
the
Get
Vengeance
back
has
here.
been alerted to your presence.
The other ship is really quiet. What's going on? I don't know. Oh god, they're here. Bonk. Yeah, you guys don't stand a chance. I don't see the crest, so let's try the captain's quarters again. See if El Capitan is holding on to the crest, like he probably should be. Oh, that's just some mold. Oh, hey, we found, what are you, Warforged? Orc? What are you? Are you just a really scary Warforged? Nah, you're probably an orc. I thought one of them was a Warforged.
Golkaz,
Bloop.
master tactician of the Droaam
Master tactician.
Navy, wheezes in
His plan
disbelief
was,
as he takes his last breath.
His plan was to fight 2-1. Alright, well, he didn't have it. There's also... Well, let's go to the galley. It wasn't on the top. It wasn't with the captain. Maybe it's in the galley.
This is where the crew eats.
And there
A
we go.
testament
Crest
to
of the snake.
brutality of the monstrous Droaam.
Like how it knocks me down and then just gets disintegrated. Alright. Now that we've got number 2, we're going to go into the lower deck. And then just like before, we're going to cut our way in. All of them thought we need to raise the alarm. All of us. You're all already here. What help are you hoping is coming?
The hatch to the
There ain't anybody
looks
left
like it
up above.
requires some kind of crest to unlock. It's likely secured somewhere else on this. From here, the Vengeance uses a complex system of rails and pulleys to deploy mines into the water. Alert Kobold engineers keep watch over the equipment, even at this late hour.
I suppose it makes more sense to make sure we kill them all. Because if we don't kill everybody, they'll just walk over here and unset the mines, I think. They won't actually. Like, it's a video game. I'm just saying that, like, feels like you need to make sure to leave nobody around who's going to realize you need to push this button. We have, let's go 2 minutes. There's only 1 minute left on the other boat. Kerboing. Now we just have to make sure that we don't lose our internet connection before we get off the boat. You will die if you are on the boat when it blows up. Don't do that.
The alarm rings out. The crew of the Carnage will now be ready to confront you.
Well, I would hope so. The other 2 boats have not had much of a defense at all. So you can see the mine deployment hatch. It is locked. I think you can pick the lock underwater and go in the bottom. I have not successfully done that, because the one time I thought I'd be clever and do it, I was actually on a wizard, and I couldn't cast knock underwater. So if I remember right, this captain is actually up here on the top deck. Yeah. This was the guy on Night Watch. This was the guy who was supposed to notice. Well, one of the boats went boom. There's a conspicuous lack of a boat over there now.
Even the deepest slumbering Droaam soldier would have awoken from that explosion.
So
the remaining Droaam forces
that's
will now be
worth
alert to your
noting. If you actually blow the boats, it automatically wakes up everybody else. Let's see. Do I see the crest anywhere? Probably gonna be in the galley, I'm gonna guess. Hey, look at our timer. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just one more Droaam ship to send
Boom,
to
boom,
the
boom,
bottom of the
boom.
ocean.
That's a big boom. That's a big boom. We were facing the wrong way and on the other side of something, so we didn't get to see the boom on the first one.
A horrid stench permeates this galley. Apparently, it does not bother
Nothing
the
here.
Droaam.
Did they really put it in the captain's quarters of the boat where the captain's not going to be in his quarters? I guess it's not impossible that it's also just below decks, like where we were naturally going to go.
This is the private quarters of Bash, the ogre veteran of the last war. It appears to be unoccupied at the moment.
It must be. Either that or I just walked past it. Let's just go to the lower deck and see if the key is just sitting next to the lock.
The lower decks of the Carnage is abuzz with activity. The entire crew was awakened by the alarm.
I'm not seeing it. But this one, I mean, I'm still fighting the
The
enemies.
hatch to the mine bay looks like it requires some kind of crest to unlock. It's likely secured somewhere else on this ship.
Crest of the monkey. It really was just down here with
The hatch to
the rest.
mine
They have
bay
a little.
looks like it requires
I don't
some
believe they're
kind of
always in the
crest
same
to
spot.
unlock. It's likely secured somewhere
So,
else on this ship. From bays like
little
this,
bit of
the
randomly
Droaam fleet
placed
has
key.
deployed enough mines to stop all shipping in Stormreach Harbor. If you can get past the Kobold engineers, you can find
All
a way
right.
to deal with the mine.
And
This
that-
panel controls the detonators on all the
That's
mines
the end of
from
the quest.
Vengeance, both those already deployed in the water and those still here in this bay.
So 1 minute. 1 minute. I know I'm not fast enough for the 15 seconds. I know I'm not. Especially on this boat that it was slightly different than the other ones. So there's the 15 seconds, right? I'd already be dead if I picked 15 seconds. So where are we going to go? Whoop. Off into the water. And by water, I mean right here. Back to our raft. Which you can tell is there because that's where the shrines are. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wave bye-bye to the boat.
All the mines have been detonated, and the mine layers are sunk.
We
You
blew
have
it up so
broken
much the
Droaam
windows stayed where
blockade
they
of
were.
Stormreach Harbor.
Alright. We bloated up the boats. And I lagged a second there. Here we go. Yes, there is a shortcut back into the plaza so you don't have to run through the marketplace. And back into the palace to get quest number 3. Boing. Hiya, hiya. I have very successfully loaded up some boats. Hello. This quest literally is just you're talking to the guy and just... What was that? That's it. That's it. We're literally just... What was that? And we walk back outside. Right now. This is just... That's where we just walked in.
Emanates from a nearby corner of the plaza.
This is the
Guard
plaza.
Captain Tallis appears worried.
So this quest starts out. The Droaam are not done trying. We've loaded up their boats. We've stopped their initial assault. But all of that was just a distraction. They dug a tunnel. They dug a tunnel. So, a bunch of guys pop out because they were ready to fight. Unfortunately, they failed their stealth check. And they also failed their luck check because what were the odds that an overpowered paladin was just going to be chilling here right where they pop out? Just bam, bam, bam. You would think like the guys as they pop out would just see the piles of bodies and just be like, nope, nope, back in the tunnel, back in the tunnel. Just, I can see maybe the ogre not caring, but everybody else should just be like, oh god, they were right in front of us.
You've beaten back Droaam's surprise attack. This would be a good time to tend to Tollis's injuries.
Gotta go talk to this guy.
In the huge crater,
just to check on him. But then we're gonna go through this tunnel.
Lead off into the darkness. It shouldn't be too
counterattack.
The tunnel shows it was quickly but professionally built.
Do you have to kill these kobolds? No.
Mining engineers to dig this
bonk, bonk, bonk. If I don't hit them, the hireling will waste a lot of mana killing these kobolds.
Astounded by your presence, an explosives-laden kobold yelps.
Stormreach forces! Blow them up! Blow them up!
So this is the boss, actually, right here. Obviously, he runs away. We can't kill him right now.
As the master
That'd be
demolitionist
convenient.
flees deeper into the tunnel, he leaves behind
And
explosive
no, you
mines.
cannot just hit him hard enough. You can't come in at epic level and just, like, mega shot him from the beginning. It doesn't work. These kobolds are not supposed to be strong. You're also not really required to sit here and kill them all. But they're so killable. So you'll see all these little explosions. So the boss is laying landmines as we go. So I believe that might be one right there. Yeah, mine. If you're a rogue, you can disarm them. If you are paying attention, you can try to step around them. Let's see if I can just... Nope. Might be able to jump over it. We'll try jumping over the next one. We'll even use a jump potion. Jump. There you go. Jump worked. I'm also jumping on the edge to try to minimize my contact. So, at this point, he runs down this tunnel, and he blows the tunnel shut behind him.
That huge explosion blocked off the rest of the
So
tunnel.
we're actually going to go
The
this
rubble
other
is too
direction.
heavy to move. For some reason, the Droaam workers abandoned their efforts to dig through
This
this natural cavern, and instead
is an
chose to
interesting
tunnel
little
around it.
spot.
A dead Medusa
So,
lies sprawled next
there's
to
a
river
very,
full of demolition
very
charges.
splatted,
Droaam
very
must
dead
have
Medusa
abandoned this
here,
cavern after
which
she
is
met her sudden end.
honestly kind of
What manner
hilarious.
of creature could have resisted the Medusa's stony gaze?
I kind of want to see if I can get a shot of that. Okay. I'm going to try to do something. So, what's going to happen, we're going to pick up these demolition charges. They're going to let us blow up walls and stuff and follow the kobold. When I pick them up, those earth elementals right there, they're bigger than normal, but they are the same little rocky piles we've seen a bunch of times before. They're going to stand up and break that staircase. I heard that. We're supposed to bomb our way up and around this like spirally ramp and fight a little mini boss and get through. But I am going to try to hustle up these stairs. Ha! And because I hustled up the stairs right away, we're going to skip the rest of this room. It's really just drop a bomb, 3 times to blow up 3 walls and beat up a named Earth Elemental. There's actually some decent light armor that drops from his chest, but I don't care. I pulled off the trick. We're going forward. So drag the bombs to your bar. It takes a while to set the charges, which is why I like skipping that section, because that's like 2 or 3 charges I don't have to sit here and set. Once it's set, so we get stuck on a beam, run away. Because when it goes boom, it will kill you. And or any of your party members. Yeah, and it also pisses off the Earth Elementals. So, there's a fair bit of griefing that goes on in this quest, as people will attempt to drop the mines when you're not looking, like, I don't know, at the end chest, like some mad genius did when everybody else went to go loot the chest.
This cavern is crammed with supplies. It's a staging area for the Droaam.
But yeah, there's a lot of griefing in this quest, because it's one of the few times where there's, like, legit player versus player. Like, playfully, right? Because it's giant, very slow bombs. But yeah, if you're playing this in a group, just expect that if you're the bomb setter, the wizard behind you is probably going to cast grease so that you can't run away from the bomb. It is all in good fun until somebody does it on Hardcore League. And the permadeath server... you don't play this quest on the permadeath server. Here's some more demolition charges, so we're going to top ourselves off to 3 again. I mean, I did, but I do it solo, right? If it's solo, then you know that you're not going to blow yourself up unless you're not paying attention. Don't play this quest. Don't put your life in the hands of somebody else on the permadeath server. You can't trust anybody. No way. I barely trust myself not to blow me up. More angry Earth Elementals. They don't attack the kobolds. Well, they kind of attack the kobolds, right? That's why that section was boarded up, is because they started digging that way and then pissed off Earth Elementals and went, nope, and they stopped digging that way. That's what killed the Medusa, is Earth Elementals. So this is an optional right here. We blow all of this stuff up, get it out of our way. You can actually bomb this wooden floor right here. This is why I don't do it. And where's the kaboom? Oh, there it is. Little underwater tunnel. And a named water elemental. I don't think this one has any fancy named loot like the Earth Elemental does. But, you know, it's there. Now you know it's there. And yes, I'm quite aware that I went out of my way to skip a section of the quest, and then I did the optional. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. This quest shows a lot more planning on the part of the
thick smell of smoke
cobalt
in the air
than I was
suggests
expecting.
the presence of explosives nearby.
So I just top these off whenever I walk by them.
Ogre.
So that ogre is supposed to be warning you, this is a minefield. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of mines all along this. So we need to get up. If you have enough jump, you can get up top. And I'm too clunky in back. I am... you can jump along the tops and you're safe. Obviously, I can't jump that high. Ooh, but there's a little ledge right there. See, there was that I could jump on that lower bit, and that let me get on the higher bit. And now I can attempt to jump across, and oh, this is so much better than getting blowed up every 2 steps. Assuming I can maintain the jumps. Pretty crystals, by the way. Like, we don't see enough of this pretty, like, blue crystal-y stuff. So, there are some enemies also on these walkways. Once you get to this second half here. I don't have great ranged attack, so I'm just going to ignore them until I can get into melee range. It's mostly archers, but there is a caster out here. There's also a ramp right here if you really, really couldn't get up and you want to kill these guys. Oops. I missed my jump button there. Up. Did I already kill the caster? I know there's a caster. Alright. You'll notice I absolutely left the hireling behind. Alright, we are free of the minefield. I'm bringing the hireling back to me now.
A bridge crosses an underground chasm here. Falling would not be advisable.
So we fight our way across this actually impressively constructed bridge. Like, that's a solid looking bridge for being something they had to build. Like, they can't have known that there was an underground chasm there as they were digging through. They jury-rigged a beautiful bridge. Alright, time for a hireling to stand aside again. After the mines, when you start going up this next tunnel, there's going to be a point that you need to stop. So take note of these little sides that you can kind of tuck yourself into. Is there another one here? I think there is. Yep, we can get in there. Yep, another one there. So mostly at the landings, it looks like. So when we get up to that kooky kobold again. Here he is. Here's our kobold friend. Boom, 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 he yells, and a giant rolling boulder comes down. It can kill you. I don't recall if it's coded as an insta-kill or if it just does a lot of damage. But just don't stand in front of it. Don't try to outrun it either. Just stand aside and let it go past. If you have god-tier timing, you can drop a demolition charge and it's supposed to destroy the boulder. But, hoo boy, you're trying to drop a demolition charge while the thing is already rolling, or just trying to time it. It's like, nah, just step aside. Sidestep. Alright, actual boss time. There's Mr. Boss. I'm just going to kill his friend real quick. When he gets to about half health, he's going to run around the room. So there's his half health. So he's going to run away, dropping bombs again. I'm just going to wait here. Because he's going to go in a circle. He's going to end up right here again. And as you can see, I can't target him to attack him anymore. And he's back to attackable.
The smoking body of the demolitions master crumples to the ground.
And now,
You've defeated
end of
Droaam's
quest.
scheme to undermine Stormreach.
We have found the other end of the tunnel.
The end of the tunnel. Surely this must exit to Droaam's base of operations here on Zendrik. With your Mission accomplished. You should report back to the Coin Lords for further instructions.
Alright, we've successfully gone through the whole tunnel. And now that we've done the first 3 quests, we can get the last one. Whatever. So you could actually see the gold cup popped onto her. So we're gonna go kill the leader of the invasion. In order to get to the leader, we're gonna have to do some stuff. The quest entrance is the hole in the ground. Thankfully, and man, how come they can't do this in, I don't know, Threnel? They don't make you run through the tunnel again. They just assume, okay, we'll skip the part where you run through the tunnel full of dead kobolds. Now you're on the other side. So, this quest has a lot of interesting little quirks to it.
From the tunnel among giant ruins.
First of all,
for some reason,
we're going to take
Droaam
out this little
army
camp
has
right
chosen
here.
this location for their camp.
So, we're just going to wipe them out. Nothing too special right here. Goodbye. Really?
The rancid stench in this cave is sickening and almost palpable. Is the entire army using it as a latrine?
I need you to come on this side so I can kill you. Okay, that works too.
More Droaam soldiers emerge from the cave.
Optional.
Action
Defeat Tinkerstad.
Kobold leads
That is a big kobold, and he does not stand a chance. Alright, so that was the opener for the quest. There is... So this thing that says assassinate high-ranking officers, there's 3 or 4 officers, and you either fight them in the final boss fight, or you can separate them and fight them early by attacking the thing that they're responsible for. In this case, if I had the ability... I don't suppose... Nope, didn't work. Let's just see if this works. We want to set the tents on fire. This is very buggy. And the only spell I know works is Flame Strike, I believe, worked the last time I tried it, which I can't cast. I'm a paladin. Well, that didn't work. Supposedly, like anything fire-based should work, right? Fireball, Burning Hands, Dragon Breath, which... I don't have that, right? No, I didn't take it. There's a lot of things that should work. I mean, just holding my flaming weapon up against it should work. Doesn't work. So you can get one of their attention by burning all the tents. You know, now that I think about it, I think you might be able to...
As vile as this substance is, it might be of use to you. If only you had something to scoop this with.
Ah, damn it. So, if you... I think you can kite one of the enemy casters, and the enemy casters might be able to light the tents on fire. I don't know. It's buggy whether something works or not. We want this poisoner's shop. We're going to take an empty bucket. Then we're going to backtrack, and we're going to click on the very public restroom. And where's the spot to actually use it? There's a specific place you have to stand. I mean, come on. It should definitely have worked by now. Is this quest like even more bugged? Huh. Well. You cannot use... What's supposed to happen is you click on the sludge here. And then you can back up. And you can dump the sludge.
This must be their main water supply. It would be a shame if something vile and poisonous
You can dump
happened
the
to
sludge
fall
into their
the
main water supply.
It's amazing how much damage some poison could do here.
I mean, yeah, if only you let me pick it up. You do that, and one of the Medusa... I think that's how you get the Medusa to come and attack. Maybe because I didn't get the tents on fire? I don't know. You don't really want to spend a lot of time running around in the sludge. You take Charisma, hide and move silently. Take damage because you're walking around in poop. Which is bad for us because we're Charisma based. So instead, we're going to take out Skinny.
His hot frying pan spits oil.
So, we've taken out their chef. Come on.
This area serves as a field kitchen. The soldiers have bunked down in this hallway. Many beds are empty. Are those casualties?
Bonk,
Or have they
bonk,
gone on
bonk.
assignment?
Where are you guys coming from? Like, I guess there's a tent up there. Alright. Plan B. Crate destroyed. Destroy the crates of army provisions. Note it is specifically talking about crates. So, like, there's a crate, 2 boxes, and a vase here. I'm at 28. It only went down to 27. It specifically only cares about things labeled crate. So the big square ones. The only ones that matter. Where did you guys come from? You were definitely not there before. So if we take out all of the crates, that's going to give us another one of the generals will attack early, taking them out of the final boss fight. And we might as well just stab everybody as we go. This
must be the
is a
army's
lot of
arsenal.
explosives.
That's
Okay.
a lot of explosives for one room.
So,
How convenient.
be careful in this room or you will get yourself killed. Whenever you set off one of those bombs, it's going to set off all the ones next to it. For example, I hit this one. Boom, 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 all the way down. So do it safely with a throwing weapon, okay? Because destroying the explosives is also a thing you can do. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Not exactly difficult, because they're all basically in the same room. And what's this?
Biggest barrel of explosives you have
The
ever seen.
biggest barrel of explosives
Careful.
you've ever seen. You know what else is here?
What do you know?
The second biggest barrel of
explosives
explosives.
you've ever seen is here too.
So we're going to set that off, run away, use it like a fuse. Whoa. We took a lot of damage, and we weren't even over there. Excuse me, Mr. Hireling, or Miss Hireling. Could you please explain to me how the hell I took 400 fire damage from way over here? Alright. So, run away? Not doing that again. Yeah.
Two screaming officers of the
Optional,
Droaam
defeat
army fall
Brinky,
from the hole in
the
the
War
roof.
Priest, and Major Payne, the Interrogator. Brinky and the Pain. And they're out. Do we have all the explosives done? We have all the explosives done. So by doing all of them, you get to fight those two guys. You only need to destroy the one on this side, and that'll open up the door here for you. I still am not sure how I got hit by that. I was very
The
much...
soldiers in the hallway ahead are still
At
asleep.
least I thought I was
They
far
must
enough
be
away.
used to loud noises.
Take it. If they're so used to loud noises, why do they notice when I start murdering the guys next to them? The bombs didn't wake them up. Alright, we're down to only needing to blow up 9 more boxes. 8 more boxes.
An ancient giant temple complex rises high above.
Might as well jump down. If you take the path to the right back there, it just brings you down here anyway.
Where's the body?
So, we're just gonna feather fall down.
Eat it?
Ooh, crates. Hey. That doesn't lead down here. Where's the other half of the... Oh, here it is. See, here's where you would have come. There we go. We've defeated all of the crates. And that means that we're going to fight another little red name. Is it red name? Named non-grunt. There will be a non-grunt up here for us to fight.
Somewhere upstairs, a
A
Medusa
Medusa
hisses.
hisses.
Don't just stand there, fools. Get more soldiers up here. The ritual must not be interrupted.
Well, the ritual's gonna get super interrupted.
The blood hasn't dried yet on this altar.
Here we go. Logistics officer. Not exactly happy that I took out all of her stuff. Hi, would you mind blowing up, please? Yeah, you had to see me coming a lot farther ahead. So, we're almost at the end of the
There were
quest
no
here.
humans on Zendrik back during the time of the Giant Empire. These human bones must be a recent addition to this temple.
So we take these guys out. We don't have to do anything with the altars. We just have to kill them to drop the force field. And we've seen these
The
before.
rhythmic sounds of mining picks on
Just step
stone
on each button
resound
once.
from down below.
We got plenty. Don't even actually have to kill these guys at all because they can't follow us. We're gonna jump in this hole right here. Make sure you got your feather fall.
A chant echoes from the hole in the a withered and bent figure stands
What's
before
this?
you.
A hag.
This confrontation
So.
will end quickly.
Sorakatra, daughter of Sorakel.
The hag grumbles at you.
Took you long enough to get here. Killed enough of my troops, have you?
So here's the recon commander that we could not have killed. I think you had to do the... it's either the poison the water supply or burn down the tents. I'm not sure which one of them is the one that she spawns at. But then there's another star puzzle with traps. Run the star, beat her up a little bit, she'll go invulnerable again. She'll summon some more guys. Yeah, so here's... I'm pretty sure that setting the things on fire and poisoning the water are two ones. Nor, in a perfect run, there's no Medusas in this fight. So, more star, more stepping on each one once. Each one is kind of elementally themed. So the first one was fire. This one's obviously wind, as I'm getting blown up in the air every time I step on one. And now she's vulnerable again. And we can beat her up.
The hag casts another spell.
You fought well, but I
And now we fight another wave. But you'll notice there's no Medusa this time, because this is probably the... No, this is probably the Binky and Pain one. Alright. Acid. Boop. 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 Oh, and some air in there. Oh, the dead guy was sitting on top of that one, so I didn't catch it. Bonk, bonk.
The green hag fades
So
away
you've killed
once
every
more.
officer who knew about the mission? Okay.
You've killed every officer who knew about the mission. That'll do just fine. I'll
So
leave
she's
you
gonna
now.
run away.
But here's one last thing to
But she's gonna
remember.
open one last portal with one of the silliest yet deadliest things that we don't see nearly enough of. And the hireling just insta-killed it. Are we gonna get another one, please? So this corpse right here, this was an orc riding a rust monster. Which... Oh, we have to solve the puzzle. That's what we're... Okay. I was going to say, if she soft-locked the quest because she killed the guy.
The lights
There
on
we
the
go.
floor go out. The portal collapses, cutting off further reinforcements from Droaam. Your mission is a success.
So this
The
is so
few
this was
remaining
interesting. So
stragglers
this
pose no threat to
this was
Cedric.
presumably their main goal all along. This was they were trying to set up a permanent portal to march the army right underneath Stormreach and go through that tunnel. The other one was kind of a distraction, I guess, softening them up. Ooh, we got a thingy. Spell clickies don't matter. Their DC is never high enough to do anything. Nightmare Guard. Very small chance of insta-killing things when they hit you. That's interesting, at least. And then resistance to disease and poison. It's a named item. I didn't get to show him off, but the orc riding the rust monster is pretty cool. You gotta make sure you're wearing your leather pants. But yeah, that would be super dangerous. Your mount able to just destroy enemy weapons and armor. How they tame a rust monster, I have no idea. So, the Droaam army is broken. Stormreach is victorious. Go us. Go team. Thanks for getting off your butts for 4 seconds. You may go back to your sitting. But don't forget we have that dude way out here. Way back at the beginning, we talked to him and he told us to go inside to talk to the others. He is also going to give us a reward. And this reward has named items in it. None of which mean anything to me, I think. We're not using rune arms. This is a decent quarterstaff, but there's only like 2 quarterstaff builds for the game. So this bow is interesting. It comes with bow strength. So most weapons use strength to hit and strength to determine your damage. Some of them, like rapiers, you're allowed to use dexterity to hit and for damage instead. If it's a finesse weapon, it gets a little finicky though, because like in 5th edition, it just straight up says you can use whichever one is better. This is 3rd edition. So you have to take the feat or be granted the ability to use other stats. Bows, in particular, only use dexterity for hit. They use nothing for damage. They just naturally do not use anything for damage. So, this bow having bow strength lets you add your strength to your... I believe it adds your strength to your damage rolls. This might be a good bow if you're just a barbarian and you just need something to occasionally go plink plink with. Although, you know, throwing axe is probably the best. But these are interesting. None of these are really, really good. But they're interesting. I'm going to take the staff. I'm probably not going to use it. These were never really strong even when they came out. Even though there is a little crafting system here where if you get marks from just doing the quests, sometimes you'll get a special mark at the end of the quest. And you can... Actually, I think the thing is sitting right... Oh, it was... At the end of that dungeon we just did, her cauldron is still in there. You can click on the cauldron and mix item and marks to make better versions of them or something like that. They've always been a little underwhelming, so not a whole lot of reason to do it. However, as of the time of this recording, there is one extra thing to know about this quest chain. The Droaam story is not done, and I believe they have announced that the next expansion, maybe even the next adventure pack, has something to do with Droaam. This storyline. I want to say they said they were going to go and turn these epic. Like, add the epic version. And when they do that, they usually revamp the items. So, if I'm remembering right, as of February of 2023, if you are thinking about wanting to buy this pack, you may consider picking it up sooner rather than later, like the next time it goes on sale. Because the last time they went and fixed up an old pack like this and added epic and redid the items and everything, they raised the price. So, very likely, if this is, and I'm pretty sure it is, if they do go back and revamp this pack, it's going to be more expensive after they revamp it. So, hedge your bets. Grab this one when it's on sale. And you'll already have it when they've done the revamp. They don't make you pay the difference. If you already own it, boom, there you go. Just food for thought. As far as whether these quests are by themselves worth it to buy, just in a vacuum, ignoring future stuff, I like these quests. I really like the boat quest where you go and sabotage the boats. This whole chain I like. However, the items are on the weak side, and they have a weird crafting system that's kind of too much work to be bothered with. And they're at a bad point in the level curve, especially these days. You are competing with Giant Hold. We aren't even at Giant Hold yet. but the shadow of Giant Hold looms over this quest. Yes, Giant Hold is, I assume, more expensive than this one, but man, you can skip everything in this level range just because you've got Giant Hold at this level. There's not really anything that makes this one stand apart to be worth buying this over Giant Hold. But I like the quests. So if you are on a tight budget, you skip this one, unfortunately. Even though the quests are fun. It's just not very efficient where it is in the leveling scheme right now. But yeah, pick it up when it's on sale. They're fun quests. I wouldn't avoid this one. It's just inefficient. But that's going to be the same for anything in this general level range. It's not going to be great. You're competing with Giant Hold, and you're also starting to compete with Sharn. Is the big things. They are big. They have a really big footprint. And there's no epic mode, so at least as of right now, you can't even just run it at epic and get the double value out of it. Anyway, next time we're going to go do another cute little smaller pack. Most of it anyway. We're going to go do the Trial of the Archons. So, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.